if you're not willing to bend over and get involved and get violated and have your sexual morality shifted, you can't operate in that Hollywood space comfortably for long.
Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
You're telling me and showing me a side of the business that I didn't know.
You go see, come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. My goal was to get this far in Hollywood and still have a virgin asshole. And never had sucked a penis. That was my only goal. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that. And remember, I told you the drug story from when I'm in the park.
Yeah.
So these are just the things. I had all of those when I came in. I already was ready for that. That's what they don't like.
Man, the competition, the competitiveness.
That's all business. I don't care if they're selling Coke. You wouldn't believe the things that Coca-Cola says about Pepsi. You wouldn't believe the water conversations between Dasani and Liquid Death. Like in all business, in all sport, competition is a driving force. And I don't require anybody to be better. Who am I? I just require if you're a loser and you've taken shortcuts at every chance, and you've made sure that you didn't put anybody on that really had a work ethic and was a God-fearing person, and you helped it. If that was never you, then don't act like that's you. Don't get out here now that you don't do stand-up and start acting like, oh, you're not sure why you don't do stand-up no more. I heard you got run off. You better be careful. That run you off gonna show up and he gonna tell everybody. Man, what you gonna be able to say? Nothing. Why you think I speak with such clarity? I'm actually involved in each one of these stories I told you about. Right. Right.
The one comedian, as we've been sitting here doing this interview, that you hold in very high regard is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million. You said it was more. Tell the story.
That's right.
I'm gonna let you tell it.
No, you're
no,
the best.
I want you to tell it.
You really are the best. You've proven it here today. As much as I'm proving it, you proving it. You proving it. Yeah, that wasn't the thing. It wasn't, people say that. He lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened. Like, no, not they offered him $50 million and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my...
What have we been talking about on this show? What have I been trying to explain to you all? And about the power of this alphabet mafia. You just want to say what organically comes up in my head and mind, but we're not going to linger on this. But I've been on this show trying to connect the dots between racial idolatry and how they've used that to marry black people to the LGBTQ. And how this whole Illuminati, this whole power structure is built around the LGBTQ using black people, making them go through the initiation process of being violated anally, to get in the club, to get access to be a billionaire and a power player in Hollywood and the entertainment industry. And it's across the board. And Cat Williams is calling it out, and I can't do nothing but, I had no idea that Cat Williams would be the guy that sits down rationally. And you got to watch this whole interview. And I know I used to hear about the Cat Williams arrest, and I just thought Cat Williams was crazy. And I thought Cat Williams was on drugs. And Cat Williams doesn't consider marijuana a drug. I do. He doesn't. but he smokes marijuana, smokes cigarettes, but he says that he doesn't use any other drugs, and he considers himself completely sober. The man is smart, and most comedians, particularly high-level comedians, are smart. And they got into Cat Williams' background story, and all of it was fascinating. I'm not sure if I believe all of it, but it was all fascinating, listening to Cat Williams' background story and how he unpacked it, and then these pearls of truth that he was unpacking. I buy it, I believe it, I know it. I've been talking about it on this show. And so here's someone who's been in the middle of the comedy, movie, entertainment industry that's telling it all, taking all the mystery out of it. And hats off Cat Williams. And just finally get to talking about the Shannon Sharpe angle, I am going to add a little nuance because there were many things Cat Williams said that, I was like, you know who Shannon Sharpe's running around with? And why the entire system is backing Shannon Sharpe. And I want to be clear, Shannon Sharpe has talent. He's turned himself into a heck of a broadcaster. But somebody's putting batteries in his back as well. And someone has thrown a lot of support around him. And Shannon Sharpe running around BFF with his designer, makeup artist. I don't know what this dude's name is. He's sitting courtside with that. Seems pretty tutti frutti. And so anyway, it seemed fascinating. Cat was talking about all these things with Shannon Sharpe, who's basically getting the same treatment as a lot of people that Cat Williams is referencing. It was fascinating. And how Shannon controlled the conversation and let a lot of interesting things get said, but didn't go to all the follow-up questions that I or someone else would have gone to